Well, hi everyone. It's now morning. Um, yeah, so I thought that this would take a lot longer than, um, yeah, it didn't. This is an fully operational 8-bit comparator. I'm actually really happy with this design. Um, okay, so I was trying to figure out like how to do it with like logic gates and all that other crap, and it's like, well, yeah. So I started looking on YouTube, and I did find some, but they were huge and they were complicated. And they got like all these like redstones and pistons and all that other shit, and I'm like, there's got to be an easier way. So then I started thinking about it. It's like, okay, how do we know if one binary number is bigger than another? And then the answer kind of just popped in my head. Well, the most significant bit, which is the one that's towards the end, one is either bigger than the other, right? So for this example, let's just change all of this. And then you can kind of see all of this working. Kind of cool, right? You can kind of see it working in the background there. Okay, so let's say that we have all zeros, right? So this is our first bit, or our least significant bit, and then this is the 8th bit, or the most significant bit. So pretty much if you go down the line and you compare this bit to this bit, whichever one is greater first is going to be the bigger number. It's easy, right? It's like if you have like a 10, which is a 1 and a 0, and an 8, which doesn't have that most significant bit, then whichever one has the biggest significant bit is one that's bigger. So 10 bigger than 8. So in understanding that, and then also kind of going off of what I kind of did for the adders there with the truth tables over here, there's really only two conditions I need to check for. Either A is bigger than B, or B is bigger than A. That's it. That's really all I need to check for this anyways. There's also where you have 0 is equal to 0 and then 1 is equal to 1. But I took care of that with this one right here, which is simply comparing this block to this block. So if they're both stone, then they're equal. If they're both quartz, then they're equal. Or redstone, then they're equal. So I took care of two parts of the truth table with one command, and then this one under here is testing for this condition, and then this one right here is testing for this condition. And then if one of these two bottom conditions are true, so either one is bigger than the other, then you know that this entire number would be bigger than the other based off of the most significant bit. So then what each of these, this row here and then the row underneath this one, all they're doing is they're setting this one or setting this one. That's it. It's just basically the same thing. I mean, it's all relative, so the commands are slightly different, but I can actually show you. So, I mean, all it is doing is setting a block 2 that way, 1 down, and then 1 that way. And it's just changing that block, so that would be this one right here. It just changes it to redstone, and then this one here changes the other one. So, super easy, right? And then, for these ones, if the first most significant bit is equal, right? So if they're either both zeros or both ones, then you need to go and check the next most significant bit, right? So then when it checks for this and it finds that they're equal, all this one is doing is it's setting up these 3 blocks right here. And then these blocks here are pretty much all cloned of each other. So bottom 2 command blocks throughout all of this are checking for these 2 conditions. And then the top command blocks are checking for equals. And then if you get all the way to the end and everything is equal, then what this one is going to do, this last block, all it's going to do is just set that block. That's it. So all of these ones are setting redstone in front of the next set of command blocks, and then this last one, if it goes all the way through all the bits and they're all equal, then we know that both numbers are equal, and so there you go. You get A equals B. So let's test it. So let's say that we want to put, let's go with 8, right? So B is 8, A is 0. What would you expect? A would be less than B, right? Okay, so we check this out. A is less than B. All right. Now let's say that this one is also 8. You would expect them to be equal, right? So A equal B. Now if this one, actually, so this is B up here, right? And because, so this is 15 now, and this is 8, so 15 greater than 8, so B bigger than A, or A is less than B, and then you get that. And then if we take this one off, and we change this one to a 0, then we have 7 on B, and then 8 on A, so we would expect A to be greater than B. So then A greater than B. So yeah, and then if we just throw this one way the hell out here, and make B like much bigger than A, then we get A less than B. So yeah, there you go. Like I said, I am very, very happy with this design. I did originally have it spaced out with like a space in between each one, but then I'm like, that's just a waste of space. Because this right here, this is stackable. So why not stack it? So I did. Alright, now, how this works with the processor itself. Compares don't actually send an output onto the bus. All it does is, these are like little flags, right? So if this would just go directly into the control unit somehow, I'm not sure how that would apply yet, but so this flag would go in, this flag would go in, this flag would go in, and then based on whatever operation that you're doing and the flags, like the command that you're running or the instruction that you're running might check a flag to see if one condition is something or another, right? And so that's kind of how this thing plays into the whole processor. So, like I said, I'm very, very, very happy with all of this. And then, this command block here, all this is doing, this one here, is just changing all of this to quartz. And then once it goes through here, then they change to redstone based on how many most significant bits they get to. And yeah, and then each of these are being read off of the observers. And then, so this observer powers this block, which then drops the signal down onto here, and then all the way down the line. And then these observers here directly power this block, which also powers the line. So if any bit changes, then this will go, and then it'll recalculate the whole compare. So that is the 8-bit comparator with command blocks. Super, super compact. Works very quickly. I mean, the only thing that is holding this back is just the speed of the command blocks and placing blocks, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, so really quick video, hopefully. I think it was a quick video. Anyways, so I think I'm going to go and get some breakfast. I'm thinking Burger King because they have really good breakfast. Yeah, I usually get the big platter. It's got like the 3 pancakes, and then you get the eggs and the biscuit and the sausage, and you get hash browns. It's just all kinds of delicious. So that is my video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more stuff like this, or you want to keep up to date with my processor, go ahead and give it a subscribe. And if you want to use this design, as far as I know, no one else has come up with this. If you want to use this in any of your stuff, please feel free, go ahead. And yeah, I will see you next video. Bye.